Welcome back everyone. In today's video we're going to explore a fundamental concept in JavaScript and functional programming, which is pure functions. So understanding pure functions can help you write more predictable, maintainable, and testable code. So what exactly are pure functions and how can we use them to our advantage? So let's dive in and find out. Alright, so in here first thing I'm going to do is going to define this function. I'm just going to call it sum, alright? And this function is going to return the sum of these two parameters. Alright, so I'm just going to come here, a comma b. Alright, now if I go down here and I call this function, right, with let's say 1 and 3, no matter how many times I call this function, if I pass in the same input, right, I'm always going to get the same output, as you can see. Right, so this is a pure function, and also we are not performing any side effects in our function. So what do I mean by that? So let's say I had a variable, so let's call it total, right? I'm going to set its value to 0, and in here I'm going to change the total variable, so a plus b, and I'm going to return the total. Alright, so now if I save the file, as you can see, I'm not getting the same output, right, if I'm passing the same inputs, right, as you can see. And not only that, we are also changing the state of a variable that exists outside of this function, as you can see. So we are performing a side effect, which means this function is not a pure function. Alright, now let's remove all of this and let's make another example with arrays so you could understand more. So let's say, let's define a function, right? Let's call it add item to array, alright? And this function takes array, right, and the item that you want to add, right? And what it does, it pushes the item to the array and it returns the actual array. Now if I come here and I basically call the function, right? So add item to array, and here I'm just going to pass in this array with two values, and I'm going to pass in the item that I want to add. So if I save the file, as you can see, we managed to add 3 to this array. Now let me call it a couple of times, alright? So if I save the file, as you can see, we are returning the same outputs if we're passing the same inputs. So does it make this function pure? Not really, because out here we're actually modifying our input here array, which means we are performing a side effect, right? So therefore this function is not a pure function, but there is actually a way we could fix it. So instead of using the array.push, we could return an empty array, and I'm going to use the spread operator, right, to spread the items of this array into this new array over here. So the 3 dots followed by the parameter and then comma. I want to also add this item to this new array along with the items of this array. So I'm just going to add here item, and if I save the file, as you can see, we are passing the same inputs and also getting the same outputs, and we are not performing any side effects. We are not modifying our input, which is in this case the array. Alright, so that's it for today's exploration of pure functions in JavaScript. We saw how pure function always produce the same output for the same inputs and have no side effects, making our code more readable and easier to test. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon and stay updated with our latest tutorials. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments below, and see ya in the next one.